So yeah, we're at the beginning of the year in our early days of 2024, and we're still saying goodbye to 2023. And yeah, the year has just begun and everything is in motion now. People are going back to school, young people are going back to school. But anyway, yeah, people are going to work, people are already starting to go into work. But this is still the early stages of your year. And if you still want to make the best out of this year, you know, planning is the best way. And I think one of the important things about, having to be here is knowing what you want to do as a person, and it's knowing what you want to achieve and what desires do you have and those desires that you want to achieve. So I think in these videos that's what I'm going to be talking about a lot of times. Not a lot of times, but this is the main thing that I'm going to be talking about. Goals fulfillment, planning, and how do we go about to plan in a way that suits you, in a way that gives you direction and better balance your work life and your school, or your work life and your personal life. It's all about balance in this world. So I think one of the most crucial things that one can do to themselves that is useful and very important and powerful to themselves is having to plan ahead, having to push yourself to understand the goals that you have for yourselves, and understand what does it mean for you to have certain goals, and why do you want to achieve those goals, and how to achieve those goals. So this video is for you. So let's go. So the most important thing that we start to talk about, or we need to talk about, or you have to ask yourself, is the importance of you planning your goals, or why is it important for you to plan your goals. So let me give you some pointers. Why is it important for you to plan your goals? But the number one important point you should know about planning is it gives you direction in a way that you are able to choose the route. It's like, if I can make an analogy about this idea of direction. It's like you have all these possible ways that can make you reach your goal, all these possible ways and all these possible distractions that can make you not to reach your goals. So when you plan down your goal, it's like you're giving yourself opportunities, or you laying down all those challenges and all those possibilities that are best suited for you as an individual and your environment, and for you to be able to choose the best way possible for you to get to that goal. Because sometimes there are ways to get to that same goal, but there are best ways for you to make it work for yourself. So the second point when it comes to planning your goals, or goal planning, is it keeps you focused. It puts you on a mindset where you have set this goal and this path for yourself, and then now you know what to expect, and the possible distractions that can come out of, and unknown fears that can come out of that path. So I think it's very important to note that planning gives you that focus. The second point about having to set goals is that it gives you a platform to narrow down all your desires, to give yourself some space from all the thinking and all the thoughts. So it's like when you're taking out an idea, or your wish, or your desire, your goals, like you have a lot of goals and all these ideas. So having to take it down outside of yourself, it's like putting putting it out there for you to see it, for you to actually feel it. So it's like, and also it takes away all these clusters that you have in your mind. And sometimes we forget our goals, so it gives you that reminder, oh, this is what you said to yourself that you're gonna do. So having to plan it, it's like it's there, so you have it, and it's like the blueprint now, so you know what to do. Now it also gives you that opportunity to reflect on yourself and say, why is this goal important to me? Why am I choosing this goal? Why do I want to achieve this goal? So whilst you're still planning those things, it gives you that opportunity to filter important goals and not so important goals, urgent goals, not so, the agency of the goal. So it gives you that focused mind to jot it down, to being able to say, this is what I want to achieve, and having the mindset to do so. It allows you to actually have the strength to do so. The third and the last point about jotting down, I believe, is it gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of knowing that there is something beautiful ahead of you that is coming and that you're working towards. It gives you that sense of fulfillment, sense of knowing that you're working towards something that is going to be greater for the greater good, so it allows you to grow as a person also. It gives you this, structures. It's like, as an artist, you have this idea and now you starting to paint it, you're starting to work on it. So having to see it grow, having to see it physically and having to work on it, it gives you that sense of fulfillment and purpose to work towards something greater. So those are the importance of having to have a plan and planning your goals. Stick around so we can talk more about how to work on your goals, how to plan. So SMART goals is one of the effective ways and efficient ways and very productive ways to set your goals. SMART meaning being specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, relatable or relevant, or time bound. So it really allows you to really dig deep in exactly what kind of goals you set for yourself and why you set those goals and how you can achieve those goals. So being specific is one of effective and efficient ways of really setting your goals, knowing exactly what goal are you setting for yourself. For instance, not just saying, I want to improve in my paintings. You need to be more specific by saying paintings, what exactly that you need to improve. So it needs you to be specific in saying, you don't just say you want to improve in making art. It means that you need to be specific in saying, I want to improve in drawing better portraiture, in better landscapes. I want to improve in color paintings. I want to improve in a specific medium. I want to improve in, my patience. I want to improve in my encouragement. I want to improve in, courage as an artist, because that's one of the things that I personally lack. I want to improve in my confidence in my work. So how can I achieve or attain that goal? That's where the second part. So that, the second part being measurable. By measurable, the matrix, you look at the matrix of the goal that you're setting for yourself. I think it's efficient because it allows you to see the progress within yourself, learning how to draw heads and, all those challenges, all those ways to see yourself improving and seeing yourself how you work and you progressively going forward. Those are the kind of ways you can see yourself. Another part is the achievable part. You need to set yourself goals very attainable or achievable for yourself. You need to be able to set goals that you see that you can achieve. Not goals that are fantasy based or, very unlikely to be achievable. Like you want to paint 52 paintings in a month. That's quite absurd for a person who wants to improve. So maybe setting yourselves and saying, this year I want to paint 52 paintings, and looking at the weeks, looking at calculating the times of how your busy schedule is and how your free time is. You're saying, okay, I think I can manage in saying we have 52 weeks in a year, and so I can just try to reduce it for, let's say, 45 paintings in a month, 45 paintings in a year. That's very much achievable, but you need to bring it down and say, okay, if that's achievable, then I can make it in saying I can paint one painting in a week. I think that's more attainable and more achievable and more realistic in your mind. And making those goals a small goal and saying, wow, in a week I can just work on one painting and, improve gradually every week. Every week you increase your growth in that. You say maybe this week you're looking at the head. How can you improve the head? And then you work on painting subjects that are head focused, and then the next week you progress to the hand, the other week you progress to the torso, all those things. If you're focusing on the figure and if you're focusing on the abstract, you learn, or how does color influence the mind? How does color, evoke emotion, and what does it mean in different cultures? What does red mean in different cultures? You learn, you equip yourself to gradually grow as a person and as an artist. Another part would be relatable or relevant. Relevant to what? Relevant to your overall goal as a person, or your overall purpose, calling, your overall dream as a person. Or, I want to be a great artist. I want to be one of the greatest artists ever lived. What did it take for a person to be actually a great artist? There are a lot of influences that play part in that. But for a person, for you yourself to call yourself, you're saying, I've done well. I'm proud of myself as an artist. I'm proud of myself as a person, the growth that I've made. So you need to make those progressive choices that aligns with your overall person, your overall growth, and your overall lifetime, the plans that you have for yourself. You can't just be planning things that they're gonna not improve in your longevity of life. So they need to be aligned with your values. You need to be aligned with your goals, your desires, your dreams, your wishes, your ambitions. All these things, they need to be very much aligned and relevant and beautiful in a way. So with everything that exists in this world, we know that time is always of essence, and you don't know tomorrow what's waiting for you. You might never live to see tomorrow. So it's very much important and very fruitful and fulfilling to set goals that that you can achieve, and that that you feel good when you achieve them. So having a time-bound based goal is one of the most fruitful and beautiful ways to know you have a successful life, or you live a successful life. Time-bound based goals are not goals that are, looking at the end results, but they look at the progressive growth to reaching that goal. Because it's important to look at how you grow as a person more than you looking what the outcomes you bring, whilst you're still doing those things. So it's very important to know that every goal that you set for yourself this year or the coming year or the years to come are goals that align with your values and your happiness and your longevity of life. So it's very important to know where and why exactly you choose those goals, so that you can grow and know that when you set a goal for yourself in a specific time bound goal, when you reach it, you are already fulfilled by the fact that you've grown and you've seen yourself grow, and you are proud of yourself for growing and taking progressive choices that leads you to be in a point where you're saying, or in a position where you're saying, I have reached the goal, but I'm already fulfilled. Even the goal itself, it's not something that you value that much, but the growth and the progression that you have had is something that you cherish more than the value of the goal itself. So it's very important for that.